let me kind of go over that. Basically, what we want to do is to take lump, and we're going to do a 360-degree turnaround. So the first thing I did was I brought lump in, and I selected him entirely, and I've grouped him. And I'll just open my group here. What I've done is select the entire character, and I've put a mesh smooth on it. So you want to subdivide this character. So pick your entire character, and you want to subdivide him. What I've got here is he's got a mesh smooth. It could be a turbo smooth that's on him. You can subdivide him in Maya. I want him subdivided with 3 iterations, and then you'll see that his belt and everything will look good. It won't interpenetrate him. Then all I've done is once I select the entire character, put a mesh smooth on him, you'll see I have an iteration of 1 in the viewport, but then I'm telling it the render values to have 3 in its render values. So it doesn't crunch my viewport. It's just subdividing once, but when I render, it's subdividing 3 times. And then I just group that, and that way I could animate him rotating. So basically what I did is I went, turned my animation on, auto key. I went to frame 16 because I want this to be 32 frames, and I rotated him 180 degrees. So I rotated him halfway around, and then I went to 32 and I rotated him the rest of the way around. So you want to have 1 rotation in 32 frames, okay? Now you'll see that I've got this in a vertical format, so the horizontal, they've got you doing a horizontal, but we want to do a vertical because our character is vertical. And so I've set him up to render him at 800 by 600. I'm sorry, not 800 600. They were doing, 800 by 1200. So we have a nice vertical image. And for my test renders, I was doing a smaller render, 400 by 600 for my test renders, and then 800 by 1200 for my final kick out of my render. You want to put him on some kind of a Psych Wall. You can build your Psych Wall any way you want to. I show a couple of ways to do it in our Pinterest board. There's a tutorial in there on creating Psych Walls, and you can do it any way you want. Basically, all I did was take a cube, and then I gave it several subdivisions, and then I deleted the top and the front and left of the room, inverted the normals because the box will be inside out, and then I gave it enough subdivisions that when I put a mesh smooth on it, it would just round the corner. The main purpose with a Psych Wall is so that you don't have any kind of a seam in the background when you're rendering, okay? And then I've placed several lights in here. I've done a 3-point lighting. What I've done is I've created a light up above. Let's turn our grid off here. There's a photometric light that I put above him, just a free light, and it's got a 4-foot by 4-foot reflector on it, okay? And then that's white 6500. So just a basic white light coming down. It's a little bit in front of him, just so that the light's coming down the front of him. And then I got a light coming in from the left. I'm using a disc for that. And that's got a slight blue tint to it. It's about it's about a 7800 Kelvin. So it's got a slight blue tint to it. And then I've got a light coming in lower from behind. And this one's about 4800. So it's got a warmer color to it, and it gives me my rim lighting that I need on it. And so the most intensity is coming from the top, then this one's a little bit dimmer, and then this one's a little bit dimmer, okay? So that's what I want, is a 3-point lighting, and to highlight lump, render him out, 32 frames, turnaround. As a matter of fact, what you do is you animate it for 32, but when you render it out, and they've got you rendering out an AVI, I'd rather have a QuickTime. Render him out QuickTime with something like an H.264 or Sorensen 3. You could do a PNG. PNG is probably the highest quality. That's what I have a tendency to do. It'll make for a larger file, but we're only rendering 32 frames, and actually, you only want to render to 31, 0 to 31, because 0 and 32 are the exact same frame. So you just want to render from 0 to 31. And then that'll get you a nice turnaround render for him.